Oh, welcome back to Venting with Us, guys. Happy Saturday. Oh, let me tell you, it's been a long week. I hope everybody had an amazing Easter. Let me break this down. Let me tell you what is happening. It makes me very sad and I got very emotional today. So Goldie has been sick. I think I told you guys that I had to take her into the mechanic. I had no idea that they were going to hijack my car for the whole weekend. So I was kind of on lockdown for Easter weekend, which is always fine with me because I'm in my happy place and I can get shit done, which I did. Um, but so they picked up my car Thursday. I didn't get her back until Monday. The mechanic basically told me, they were like, look, the amount of money that it's going to take to fix the problem is not even worth it. So I would advise that you just get a new car. Now that broke my heart because I don't have car payments, and I'm sure this relates to almost everybody who wants a car payment. I was going to say something else, but I went blank. Who wants a car payment? Nobody wants a car payment. Everybody hates car payments, right? I like not having a car payment, that extra money in my bank account. I hate this journey. I hate car shopping. Between car shopping and getting my hair done, those are the two biggest things that I hate the most. And I hate going into a dealership where it's like, it's just a setup for failure. That's what it is. It's a setup for failure. So I have been kind of looking around, and I went to go get my eyebrows done today. By the way, my mission in life was to go get my eyebrows this morning, go to the supermarket, go get sugar, and then come back home, get ready, and get ready for the show. Which this is why she's looking like this, but it's okay. This is a good color on her. But yeah, I literally just got home like a little while ago because I said to myself, there's a dealership that I bring my car to, and I said, you know what? My eye went. It was like like in fast motion to this one car that I was looking at, and I was like, I really like that car. Oh my God. Like, that has not happened to me in a really long time. And I was just like, I really like that car. I really, really, really like that car. I don't know what it is about this car, but I do like this car. And I said, you know what? Fuck it. Let me just take the chance. I drive a Ford, and I know most people are going to be like, ew, Ford. But let me tell you something. My car, Goldie, I've had her now for almost 15, 16 years. And she's been nothing but good to me. So, and I get it. It's Ford. They're not all reliable cars, but for whatever reason, this car has been really good to me. And a lot of people make fun of me, but when I tell them, look, I put $20 in my car and it gives me half a tank. And I'm only pumping that shit for once a week, especially that gas right now is at 403. That is bananas to me. I was like, oh no. So that $20 looks really good, especially that it's like I'm driving back and forth, right? So I don't really want to get rid of my car. But at this point, it's don't get rid of the car, and then more mechanical issues happen, and then I'm dumping more money into the car. Whereas, plus I have 173,000 miles on my car. So, and then a lot of people probably just cringe right now, like, damn, but I'm telling you, like, she's been really good to me. Not only that, but I do get emotional with this car because my grandmother, when she helped me get this car, and I was able to like rebuild my credit, which is so important, you know, but I butchered my credit. I have learned my lesson. So even at the dealership today, I was like, please be careful with my credit. I don't want to fuck around with my credit. I don't want to fuck around with my credit because I don't have a co-signer. There is no money that I can do right now. And I need a car. So we were looking at a couple of cars. It's come down to the one that I love or this other one, which is another Ford. I forgot what it was. I think it was a Ford Escape. No, I don't think it was a Ford Escape. I'm not sure exactly. All I know is that it's between that one and another Ford, which it was a good car. And again, it's a car that's going to get me from A to B, and I can be happy with it until I'm able to actually get the car that I want, you know? So, and I'm also thinking about maintenance wise, because at the end of the day, I can get the car that I want. Absolutely. I have good credit now, but everything is so freaking expensive. I don't want to spend that much, you know, doing the upkeeps on it. I don't want to, if I get the car that I want, the light bulb is like freaking $1,000, you know, like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And right now with me trying to like build the show up and get better equipment, and really like I gotta redesign like the studio here. You know, there's a couple of tweaks that I want to make. I kind of did this on a budget. And it listen, I love my studio, I love the furniture, I love everything in it, but it could be tweaked. And these are things that I think about what my investment is going to be in. It's better equipment, better cameras, better, you know, all rounds for me and the show. So I basically left. I was like, okay, so it really comes down at the end of the day what the insurance is going to be. Because if this car is going to cost me like $400 a month on insurance, there's no way I'm doing it. I'm not going that high. Like I pay $100 and something right now, and I bitch and complain about that shit. So we will see what happens. I will keep you guys posted on what happens. So, but I felt bad. I was like, oh my God, I came in here just to look at stuff, but I was not trying to purchase anything. Many hours later. On that note, we're going to go deep dive into the show. So I told you last week that I was going to get into this show that I kind of stumbled upon. And you guys know me, I love a good documentary, murder, mystery, you know, stabbing somebody, docs. And Hulu had a phenomenal one. And I do love Elizabeth Chambers. And she has this show. It's called Toxic. It was actually released out in 2024. I hope she comes back out with another 6 episodes. This one has 6 episodes in it. So if you guys are interested in watching it, you guys are going to love it. I promise you. Each and every episode kept me on the edge of my seat. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So for those that don't know who Elizabeth Chambers is, her ex-boyfriend was Armand Hammer. He is the infamous psychopath that cheated on her, and he sent her a sexual text message that he meant to send to somebody else, and it led into the rabbit hole of cannibalism. So he was trying to eat people while he was in a whole relationship. It was crazy. I remember this story and I could not believe it. It's like, who am I in a relationship with? Like, I can't even try. Like, I gotta like be like one eye open when I sleep at night. This is so crazy. So Toxic breaks down 6 different episodes of 6 different people. The first episode is called Sleeping with a Stranger. This involves this woman named Kelly. She, I feel bad for this girl because she she ends up finding this guy, and through social media, see, social media, guys, you gotta be careful. You never know who's on the other side of the camera. People are probably saying, like, we'll say the same thing about you when you're off camera. Well, how are you living? But she meets this guy, and they end up getting married, and he just ends up going ballistic on her. Like, he becomes verbally abusive, mentally abusive. It gets to a point where he ends up cutting himself in his and like he starts spreading it all over the house, and he tries to kill her, and she's able to actually get away from him. It is the craziest like jump start of an episode. The second episode is called There's a Crowd. This one probably was the one of my favorite ones out of all of them, because you could not make this shit up if you really wanted to. This one and episode 4 really were the two for me that got me. But basically, okay, it starts off with this guy named Ian. Now, Ian is married to his wife named Angela, and the way it starts off is that, you know, they're like, oh yeah, they got married, they lived happily ever after, she was the one, oh my god, he was amazing, and all of a sudden they show all of these messages. Oh, you know, I'm gonna kill you, you're gonna see what death looks like soon. It's like all of these horrific messages that are being sent to the wife, Angela, and it's just like over and over and over. And he is, at one point, there's a cop in the room, and he's like reading the messages to the cop, and he's like, yeah, my ex, this is coming from my ex Michelle, she is batshit crazy, you don't even understand, like, she is just crazy, she's trying to just get us, I don't even understand, she's obsessed with me. He comes out with this full story about her being obsessed and her just wanting to get back with him. So they arrest this poor girl. Okay. Now they go to Michelle. Michelle's like, I don't even know what you're talking about, because me and Ian don't even talk. In fact, me and Ian are in a dispute over the house that he's living in right now, that's in my name also. And you know, we made a deal that he was going to continue with the payments. He stopped making the payments, and I said, there's a whole plot right here, Ian. There's a whole plot. I know. I see it, Ian. So then she's like, yeah. And I told him if he misses any payments, then we're going to have to sell the house. So right now we're in dispute because we're trying to sell this house now, and he doesn't want to sell the house. He wants to keep the house. So now I go into like psychopath detective mode, and I'm like, oh, Ian just don't want to give up the house. Okay, but he made it out to seem like Michelle was like batshit crazy. And then all of a sudden the text messages and the emails and everything stops, because now she's locked up. And they're showing you the amount of days this poor girl, she was in there for like, I think 72 days in jail, right? She was like, I got to get a lawyer. Like, this is a whole thing. I'm going to get you, Ian. I don't know what you're talking about. Now, they rewind this whole entire story, right? And now they tell the story about Michelle and Ian. So now we start to come up with the truth. Ian was apparently a loser, okay? He was a loser. And he was fighting Michelle, and he was very abusive to her. He was very verbally abusive, and Michelle was like, I'm not even having this. I don't know who you think you are. I will cut you 4 ways. I don't know. We ain't getting down like that. I'm going to knock you out. And then she ends up leaving. But the house, they put in both of their names. Now, see, here's the thing, ladies, okay? Ladies and gents, because this can happen to a guy too. Guys are not always safe either. I've seen some stories. If you're going to put something in your name, or you're going to share a house, put it in your name. Because if you guys break up, you get to keep that house, okay? And then there's no tug of war there. Oh, what about my credit? Don't worry. Like, they make it convenient now so that way you can be able to get a house. Don't buy him a car. Don't be like, I love him so much, I'm just going to get him the car of his dreams. No, put that car in your name. You could drive it. It's like, I'll give you custody from time to time so that way you can be able to get to work and back, and go maybe like grocery shopping. But if we break up, you're not getting this car. Like, things like that, ladies, you have to be so conscientious with not doing these things. Listen, and trust me, I did them myself. It's I'm sorry, it's the guy from the dealership. He's like, hey, girl, yeah, get me that down payment. I mean, very low. So, but I did this. I bought a car for a guy. I was in a relationship. We were in a relationship for almost 11 years. So it wasn't like it was a 1 year, 2 years. I was like, okay, this is probably the guy that I'm going to end up really probably spending the rest of my life with. I always knew, though, and I've said this story, I've always knew that I was never going to get married to him. There was just something that I just always knew. And I think it was also because we were so young. But and I was getting older. My mind was changing of what I wanted. He really wasn't he wasn't a bad boyfriend, but he did stupid shit that was like, I can't be in this relationship either. But also he wasn't very supportive. Like, if I wanted to do something, he would just like minimize. Is that a word? We're going to use it. He would just really just try to really knock me down and not give me the confidence that I needed to do at that time. And I swear, if I can change certain things, that would definitely be one. I'd be like, girl, no, don't listen to him. You keep going, because what he's telling you is he just doesn't want you to be amped up. Plus, I was always the breadwinner in that relationship. And I think there was a lot of jealousy there, because you're the man, you should be making more, I'm making more. He's not on the path that he wants to be. So, and it was very stagnant also. I would really say, like, I would tell him, like, don't you want to move out of your parents' house? Because we were living in a mother-daughter house. And so I didn't see his mother, but the mother lived in the house. And I was just like, don't you want to move? Like, don't you want to be like in your own thing? And he would always have this excuse. He's almost 50 years old now, and he's still living in his mother's house. And now, like, they live together, and I think they rent out the bottom half of the house. And it's like, see, if I would have been in that relationship, I would be in that situation. And that's not where I want to be. But anyway, side note, we were like talking about a whole show and went deep. It wouldn't be me. So Michelle's in jail. That's what we were talking about. And they end up finding out, here's the plot twist on this. So after Michelle's whole jail situation, her dad, who used to work with the cops, see, he fucks. And Ian fucks with the wrong couple, man. Her dad deep dived into finding out where these messages were coming from, because anytime you send an email or you send a text, there's an IP address. So he searched the IP address, and Lord and behold, the girlfriend was actually the one that sent the messages to herself. And he was trying to get her to like make it look like this. So they were like doing this scheme so that way they can get the house. And they figured, okay, well, if we can get Michelle in jail, then we don't have to deal with anything about the house. So they ended up getting caught. She did like, I think 30 days in jail. He ended up doing more because of like it was coming out of his computer and whatnot. That story was, I'm telling you, was so crazy. It was just the craziest thing. I'm like, you see, men are so trifling. They are trifling. Damn. So that was episode 2. Episode 3, we go into the depraved heart. This one took me a little bit. It was a little sad on this one because Sarah is the victim in the story, and she gets actually addicted to drugs, and she ends up dying. She ends up meeting this guy who is in the cosmetology field, and he's a little bit older, but she was attracted to him, which by all means, to each his own, you know, if that's where your crumble cake falls in line, then that's where your crumbles are. I could not, but no, I can't. If you have gray hair, it's downhill from there for me. No. No, and don't give me the salt and pepper. No. No. So they end up getting married, and did they get married? No, they did not get married. They were just dating each other. But he was a really nice guy. He really was. He was a little psycho. Honestly, this story was his fault and not his fault. This was a 50-50. The reason why I say that is because Sarah ends up hurting herself, right? And she injures her back, and she ends up getting addicted to opioid, and which he has all this access to the drugs. And what was the other one? It's the one that Michael Jackson died of. It's the one that helps you sleep. Oh my God, it's on the tip of my tongue. I hate this. Oh no. Let's Google real quick. Hold on. But it's that one. She got addicted because she was also having issues with sleeping. And hold on a second. What? Here we go. Oh, propofol. There we go. I knew I was going to find it. Propofol. So she gets addicted to all of these drugs, and you see the text messages going back and forth with him. And her mom and her sister are very concerned, as they should be. And they're like, I haven't seen her in months. Every time they would speak to her, she sounded very like out of it. Then he called 911 because she ended up having a seizure or having a heart attack. And when they came, all they see is all these drugs all over the table. And of course, he blamed it on her. He was like, yeah, she was a drug addict. I was just trying to like keep her hydrated and stuff like that. And which, like, if you're gonna lie, like, make the lie at least make sense. And they ended up finding out that yes, he was supplying her the drugs, but at the same time, she was asking for it. So he was trying, because he loved her so much, he was trying to support her habits while she was, getting more and more and more addicted every single day. So it was crazy. It was just the craziest thing. So that one was a little hard one to get through that episode. The 4th episode is called Don't Shoot Mommy. This is a really, really fucked up situation. This is like Fear Thy Neighbor, which I'm also watching. These stories are so crazy. It's like, oh my God, how do I like stumble upon half of these things? I've been a fan of Fear Thy Neighbor though. So if you guys have not seen that, that's also on, well, that was on Prime, but I think if you have um, the upgraded package on Hulu, I think you can watch it on Hulu as well. But I watch it on Prime. So this one's called Don't Shoot Mommy. This is about Tom and Kate. So Tom and Kate, now Tom, let me just tell you, Tom was crazy. Tom was just that shit crazy. He was in the military, right? And Kate had just went through two bad failed marriages, and she was looking for someone. She had basically given up hope on love and finding the right one, and just having that happily ever after ending, which she did not get with Tom either. But this might have just nope, this was a cherry on top. I don't think so. We're not going any more past this. Girls, stay off them dating apps. But he had always said, that's how he kind of suckered. Now, I wouldn't say suckered, but he sucked her into his world, where he explained that his dad was in the Air Force. He really looked up to him, that he served in Iraq and all of this stuff. So Kate ends up having, Tom ends up having this PTSD conflicted thing, and Kate, he became very abusive to Kate, and Kate moved out. She was like, nah, I'm out. Bye, Tom. Deuces. She ended up also finding out that Tom had never served in Iraq. He made that all up. He had so many connections between the cops, the military, and all this stuff. So when you throw ranks out there, depending on what state you're in, they treat you a little bit more cushy than a regular person. So he ended up shooting her. He tried to shoot the child. He shot the dad. It was like a whole mess. It was a whole mess. Like that episode, I'm telling you, between 2 and 4, that was like the perfect one. 5 and 6 are one story in one. It's just separated. If you guys have not seen the vegan story on Netflix, that's a great, great documentary. It's about this girl named Sarma, who was like the cream of the crop in New York City. She had this vegan restaurant that A-list celebrities would go to. She ends up getting into a relationship with this guy. He manipulates her like the Tinder swindler, and he steals all her money to the point where she ends up having to close down her restaurant. Her reputation is fucked up. She's still trying to pay back millions of dollars of debt that he convinced her to take out because he had a whole gambling problem. Elizabeth Chambers ends up finding him and locating him because he's with somebody else, which she believes that he's doing the same thing. But he was like this narcissistic guy who really liked politics, who knew how to feed on people that had power, so that way it could feed his gambling problem. And a lot of people that he's done this to, they didn't want to speak out because they were so embarrassed that they could have been conned in this way. But at the same token, I always say, I'm like, look, when someone's good at their game, they're good at their game, but you learn from it. You keep moving forward. At the end of the day, you still live in your house. You still have food in your refrigerator. The lights are turned on. Shit happens. The one way to get back at somebody is expressing and telling people that story. So that way you're protected. People know, and that's a lot. I think that's what Elizabeth Chambers wanted to do. She really wanted that story out there so people know, like, look, I'm warning you. This guy is no good. He is a master manipulator. Do not believe his lies. Do not go into that rabbit hole that many people have, because you lose everything. So that was 5 and 6. Phenomenal documentary. I would say it's probably my top, I'm going to say 8. Because it's really hard to get me into a lot of these that have so many episodes. But again, the documentary is on Hulu. It's called Toxic. I hope you guys had a great time with me. Always continue to follow me. Spread the word. I will see you guys next week. And that will be the continuation of this cart also. By the way, my surgery is going great. As you see, I'm healthy, happy, and just living life carefree. All right, guys, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. It's beautiful. I love when it becomes warm. It makes me so happy. All right, guys, I'll see you next week. Love you.